The Marketing Funnel Strategy Show. More leads. More sales. More predictability.
Introducing Jared Hyman, sales and marketing expert. Introducing Serena Carly, marketing and outsourcing expert.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Marketing Funnels and Strategy Show. I'm here with lovely Serena today. How you doing today, Serena?
I'm doing good, as I'm always doing, Jared. Thank you very much. What about you?
I'm doing bloody marvellous. Thanks so much for asking. It's a killer day here today. It's been action stations all morning for us, isn't it? It's been action mornings all morning for us, hasn't it?
Yeah, sorry, I keep muting myself while I go and start setting up the other side. So and then I have to come back and then unmute again. So I wasn't sure you were talking to me. But yeah, we've been pretty full on this morning, as it's normally like in our land of the living every day.
Yes, it definitely is. So on today's episode, everybody, we're going to be about one thing you can get and one thing you can do basically to get and keep clients long term, right? Because let's face it, if you look at it, right, from today's day and age, I know what it is marketing-wise. We're doing it every day. It costs us $293 to acquire one client, right, into our agency, into our products, into our service. So when you think about it, right, when it costs that much to acquire one client, I mean, it's great to acquire clients, but if you can keep them long-term and you never lost a client ever again, what would that do to your business, right? And how much more money would you spend in your marketing to be able to keep that client? And that's what we're going to be discussing today, myself and Serena here live. We're discussing, look, what can you do to acquire a client, but more importantly, what is one thing you can do to literally never, ever lose a client again? Because I think it's a hot topic online at the moment. A lot of people are talking about, how you can get clients, all this type of stuff. It's all good and great, go and find ways to get clients. But you don't want to just have a client and keep them for a week or keep them for 2 weeks or keep them for a month or 2 months or 3 months. You want to keep them long term. What do you got to do to keep these clients long term? That's where you really build empires. One of our coaches, JT Fox, which a lot of you may know, he speaks very heavily around, empires are built on clients, right? And it's so true. If you've got a system to acquire clients, you want a system to keep them long term as well. Otherwise, you don't even have a business. Every client has a lifetime. You have one of these metrics in your business called a lifetime value of a client, right? And for a lot of people, that lifetime value in a lot of businesses is very, very small, right? If you work out ways to keep them longer and longer, that initial $500, $27, $50, $100, $10,000, whatever that is for your business, can then turn into thousands of dollars more for your business long term, which I'm sure a lot of you would say is going to be worth a lot of money to your business long term. If you can find ways to keep clients, you're never ever going to need a way to find new clients ever again, right? Because you could just get your business to a certain stage where you work with 100 people and you're happy working with 100 people, or you're happy working with 50 people or 20 people, whatever, and you're earning really good money in your business, and you've got this thing here we call freedom, right? Becoming a freedom warrior, which is freedom from being a business warrior, right? Because too many people worry about their business and worry where the new clients are going to come from, worry about where the next sale is going to come from in your business, when you shouldn't be worrying about things. You should be a warrior, because warriors have their own way of doing things. They have control over the things that they can control, and they've got a mindset which creates success, maintains success. And in this case today, what we're talking about is, how to keep the clients long term. This is what business warriors do. This is how business warriors look at their business, is they go, okay, what can I do to not only acquire a client, but keep a client long term? This is what we're going to discuss today. So I want to start with a question. If you think back to when you first started your business, and if you are starting a business right now, that's also okay. I want you guys to just write this down. If you go back to when you first started in your business, how many clients have you acquired since you started, right? I want you to just work out, if you don't know exactly what that number is now, what I want you to do is I want you to just think of exactly what that number is, roughly, and I want you to put that on the piece of paper. Now what I want you to do is I want you to go, okay, if I still had those, if I never lost any of those clients, if I had those clients still working with me today, what would my business be turning over? And I want you to put that number there. Once you've got that number down, what I want you to do is I want you to go now, that is opportunity. That is actually what we call opportunity cost, right? So that's what the opportunity has cost you by not finding this one thing today that we're going to talk about that you can use to keep your clients long term. Now, if you think about a relationship, right? Think about, relationships, and think about the start of a relationship. Serena, when you think about a long-term, or think about a relationship at the start, what kind of happens in a relationship at the start, like between male-female or female-male or male-male or female-female, right? What happens at the start of a relationship? What's your perception on it?
Well, I think we've had this conversation before, but what generally happens, and I'm sure it hasn't changed, is if you're really interested in someone and you start dating and all that sort of stuff, people start to behave like how they think the other person wants them to behave. So they don't burp or fart or anything like that. They wear their makeup every day for the women. Some, maybe men might dress up, some that really don't give a shit. But, they sort of think they know what that person wants. So therefore they start behaving like that until they get comfortable enough and longer into the relationship. And then people start to get so comfortable with each other that then they'll test it a little bit here and there. With a few words, swearing, or a bit of wind, or burping or something like that, and see the reaction, and then before you know it, they're just like an old married couple. Yeah, that's it. Part of it.
Yeah, and that's the way. But yeah, that's the traditional way that a relationship starts, right? And in business as well, people actually do the exact same thing. When someone first starts, it's like, fucking great, let's do this. We're going to take on the world. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do something else, right? We're going to, kick big goals. We're going to take it, whatever that is. And then, a bit of money's paid, and then all of a sudden that side just falls off. Now, I don't know if you guys have been in a position where that may have happened to you in business at some stage in the past. I know I have been in that situation as well. And it's never a nice area to be in, right? Even in relationships, right? Things falling back to that usual old, our own, way we used to work before, and it doesn't get exciting, that type of stuff. So if you look at the concept of that early, what do they call it? Like the honeymoon stage? Is that right, Serena? They call it like the honeymoon stage, the early start of a relationship, basically. Like it's exciting, it's new, it's it's something that like everyone's just over the moon to just be with this person. They'll just do anything for them, right? And then it just fizzles over time. And pardon, sorry?
Oh, and hot sex, like going hard at it right at the beginning, and then that'll fizzle out after a while.
Exactly. The hot sex, everything, it's just so exciting at the start, and then it just fizzles and it's gone. And, if that's kind of the way that you're doing business, right, you're just having hot sex with your clients up front, and you are, doing everything that you can for them at the start, and then all of a sudden it fizzles long term, where do you think your business is going to be in 2 or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years time from today, you're going to be on that little hamster wheel that we talk about. You'll be the business warrior, where you're worrying about where your next client is going to come from, where your next sale is going to come from in your business, and you're never ever going to move forward. Now, what is one thing that you can do? What is this one magical thing that you can do in order to sort of step out of this and start stepping into being that business warrior, right? What is this one thing? And this one thing is this: you have got to find a way to bring that honeymoon period back in and keep that honeymoon period long term. How can you do that? Well, when you think about it, you got to be going at things from the perspective of you're always dating. You're always dating your clients. You're always taking them out. You're always doing things exciting, right? What's one thing that people love? A little bit of mystery, right? And that's the one thing that you can put into it, that little bit of mystery, that little bit of wow factor that can get somebody to really start thinking about you all the time. What a lot of businesses do, like if you think about the Ritz-Carlton, for example, right? There's a certain experience you get from the Ritz-Carlton when you go and stay there. If you've stayed at the Ritz-Carlton before, you're watching this live, just let us know below in the comments if you've ever stayed at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. There was a brand spanking new one here built here in Western Australia, here in Perth, where I'm from. And it's built right on the water, okay? Literally magical place. We just had this area called the Elizabeth Quay just built. It's been completed for a little while now, but it's brand spanking new, brand new building. The whole building is it's like a cylinder, and it's all glass all the way up, right? Absolutely stunning building, okay? Now, they've purchased what you look at as the absolute, probably best, most prime real estate you could probably get in Perth. You know the area, Serena, when you're originally from Ballarat, obviously, but you lived in Perth for many years. Do you know where that Elizabeth Quay area is?
Yes.
It's on the water there in the city. Yeah. So
Yeah,
you know where I'm
and
talking.
they're building it out a bit too, weren't they? I think I was sort of gone. I hadn't seen most of that, but they were changing the whole area there, so it's a lot different to, what I was used to.
But you've stayed at the Ritz-Carlton as well, right?
I've stayed at places like the Ritz-Carlton, but if you're talking about Ritz-Carlton in Perth, no. Not that I remember.
No. But they're in Singapore, they're in heaps of different places all around the world. So if you stay at one, you kind of get a bit of an understanding as to what it's like. But I'm just using Perth's, I guess, location as an example. They've chosen the best possible location, right? So, when you get a room there at the Ritz-Carlton, you're looking straight out at basically the water, or you're looking at the city. Of a night time, they got all these blue lit up lights, red lights, it all changes, things like that. All around Elizabeth Quay area there. It's a beautiful place, and it's vibing as well, right? There's usually you hear some music from your hotel room on the outside, so you can hear the vibe going on, and you just got this magnificent view to watch, right? First thing in the morning. But if you look at the Ritz-Carlton in general, sorry?
Shangri-La
What was that?
girl. I'm more of Shangri-La girl.
Shangri-La?
Yeah, the Shangri-La Hotel around the world.
There you go, right? I mean,
I'll
sorry, you're cutting in and out, Serena.
Okay.
But I get what you meant.
I'll shut up.
There's a delay. Sorry, guys, there's a delay between me and Serena today, so we're trying to deal with this delay in response going back and forth with each other. Because there's literally about probably a 3-second delay, I think, between the two of us today. So, we think each other aren't saying anything, then we both speak at the same time, so it makes for a bit of fun. But Serena just said she's stayed at the Shangri-La before. I've stayed at the Shangri-La in Sydney. That was phenomenal. But share with me, what was the experience like when you went to the Shangri-La, Serena?
Well, it was on an island, so it was you know, it was pretty full on expensive looking. You know, the experience was like more than what you'd get at a normal hotel. Of course, there was the buggies, the golf buggies, beautiful views. You know, your room was large and had all the extra, you know, stuff inside it. The food was expensive, but, you know, it was displayed in a much more unique way than what you would get in a normal hotel or something like that. So it's all class and arse. That just rhymed. So
all arse and plenty of class. So, and look, like, I mean, when I've stayed at the Shangri-La, I got the exact same thing as well. And you know, the Ritz-Carlton, when I stayed at it in Perth, was the exact same as well, right? So, you know, when you're greeted from, you get greeted, like you drive your car up into the main area there, someone grabs your car and they'll take it out the back and they'll say, okay, do you want me to park that out the back for you? They're like, yes. They give you a little card and they say, cool, just proceed straight in here, sir, and they'll tell you, direct you where to go. Then after that, you'll walk in and someone will say hi. As soon as you walk in the door, there's someone concierge standing right there. And then I'll say, okay, cool, thank you, welcome, Mr. Harmon. Go straight through to the reception. You go through the reception and they start taking your details and you fill out a couple of forms and things like that, do a little bit of, you know, accounting stuff with them and whatever. And then before you know it, you're given a key and you're on your way. And someone will take your bags, right, into the lift, up and to your room for you, right? So, and I think that was the same pretty much when I was at the Shangri-La in Sydney as well. Did you get any other types of service there as well, Serena? Or
no, I was just trying to think, you know, because I've been around the world and I'm trying to think, what's the most memorable hotel in my mind? What's the one that sort of, you know, I was like a big wow factor. And sometimes it doesn't even need to be some of the stuff that you're talking about. There's one hotel in Sydney, just along, not far from the Red District up the top there, because I can't think of the name of the street. The Grand Hotel, I think it was. Nothing fancy, nothing whatever, but the manager in the restaurant, because we used to hold all our JT meetings and stuff there. Every time we were there, he always made cups of teas for me. He didn't charge me for it. You know, let us come in and use the restaurant even if it was closed. And that's the first thing that come to my mind for service rather than all the glitzy bits that goes with it. So for me personally, it's those little things that make a count rather than paying a hell of a lot of money for a big, huge hotel and then expecting the glitz. I think what it's about is it's not what's the Ritz or what's whatever. It's doesn't matter who you are. It's what you give to your customers to make them feel special. And it doesn't even need to be expensive. It's just attention. Sorry, that just came to me just then. You know, just the fact of the attention is hugely important to a lot of people as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. And this is what it's about. It's about, for you guys, right, like when you first acquire a client, you've got to find a way to be able to create that wow. You've got to be able to find a way to be able to give that attention, that support, to give that assistance in some way, shape or form that your client is after, right? Because, you know, if where attention goes, the energy flows, the results show. So, you know, it's about putting your energy towards each individual client, right, to ensure that they're getting everything that they need. I'll give you some examples, right? So like in our mastermind, our Freedom Warrior mastermind, right, where we start turning people from a warrior into a warrior, right? We give tech support, unlimited tech support with this particular program, right? So for someone who's, you know, maybe just getting started in social media marketing, or somebody who is, you know, maybe advanced at marketing, or maybe, you know, can't attend, you know, group calls each week, or has some real emergency assistance type stuff. I'll give you an example. One of our clients who runs a beauty therapy business here in Perth, she had no email being sent at all from her email accounts at one stage. And literally, like, they were sending emails, nothing was returning. They were going into their Gmail systems. They couldn't work out what the hell was going on because it was backed by Gmail and Google. Then, because it was all through Outlook as well, right, that they were sending all their emails and stuff like that from. It was just a huge shit fight, and they had inquiries coming through, and the inquiries, they couldn't respond to them in timely manners and all this type of stuff. And it was just an absolute nightmare for them. And, if they were to work this out themselves, they probably, it would have taken them ages to do, right? But, basically what we did is we actually just got our team to just jump into the back end to work out what was going on and fix the issue. And how long we fixed that issue? You remember that issue that we had there with them a couple of months ago, Serena? We were doing it. We had to get your guy, one of our guys to check it all out and stuff for us.
Yeah.
What
And
did it take us about 15 minutes?
how long?
Did it take us 15 minutes or something to sort that out?
Yeah, I think so, from memory. Yeah.
So and these are the things that you've got to work out what to do for your business as well to be able to provide that extra little bit of wow factor now. Like something as simple for our clients, right? That tech support makes a huge difference because it cuts all of their time in social media and the ads manager, in their funnels, in their sales pro, anything like that. It cuts it all in half, the time they spend doing these things as well. So it just makes so much more of a difference when you just have someone support you with that. So these are like the little wow factor moments that just save you or save people so much time, right, to be able to do.
Yeah, because a lot of times I guess people sort of forget that some people know how to do things a lot, differently to other people. So what's easy to us can be quite hard and frustrating for our clients as well. So, clients will go in and try something, and sometimes they can spend a day or 2 days or something like that and just get really frustrated. Whereas if they just send us an email, which a lot of them actually do, and just say, I can't work this out, can you have a look, like the Twilio one recently. And of course, you can just go in or I can, depending what it is, just go in and, okay, it's missing this, or this needs to be done, and bang, it's done, and it's done in a few minutes, as long as it's not a few hours.
Yeah, and these are just the little things that can just make a huge difference, like Serena said, right? So the question is for you guys here today is, what are you going to do now with this information, right, to be able to keep your clients long term? I mean, it's okay to, as I said, pay money to social media, actively go out, spend your time for referrals, all these different types of things and different strategies to acquire clients. You can go away and do all of these things, but what are you going to do to keep them? You got to put a keep strategy in place, right? Like, so what is it, like a standard operating procedure as to what you do to be able to help keep your clients long term as well? Just little things that you can do, like tweak from time to time, regular audits, like, is it, maybe a bonus session with you, right? Maybe send them something in the mail, like some sort of exciting thing in the mail. Like, what are you going to do to be able to keep these people long term, not only short term stuff? What else do you think, Serena, people could do to just giving ideas for people to sort of keep their clients long term?
Look, it's different for different businesses and different costs and what, how much, I guess, how much money people spend with you as well. I mean, we've discussed, a little while ago about sending out hampers, for example, to our top clients. But, then you've got to understand or know exactly their addresses and all that sort of stuff. and sort of send it out. I'm not a flowers person because flowers die, so I wouldn't do the flowers thing. But if you have, some businesses can make up something for their business, like gold cufflinks or earrings, or and have their, like, a logo or something on them indiscreetly, and send them to clients as a, it's not really promoting your business, because who's going to see your cufflinks really anyway? But your customers see it, and therefore if you have a reminder, on that, like they do the big calendars they used to send out. I think they're sort of gone into the olden days now. Everyone uses phones and all that sort of stuff. So, but people still like to write things on a calendar and put it on a fridge. So for some businesses that would work. The soft drink delivery, or the chicken man that delivers the eggs or something. And he provides a great big calendar that has the big squares on it, so you can write all your little notes on it and have it stuck on your fridge. That goes for a lot of mums and stuff like that. So it would be different for the different types of businesses that they are. I mean, here in Bali, what I love, and especially it's gotten even better, since this thing started, and they deliver. So everything is deliverable. You don't even have to go outside your house here. Or compound or whatever, especially when you've got a pool in it as well too. You just get on WhatsApp and you just send a message, and I just love the fact that yep, be there, and yep, this is the price, and they send you a copy of the receipt. Yep, the person's on the way, and I love pumpkin bread for keto, so I just message them, and they actually deliver to a restaurant, which would cost me more dearer. So I get them to deliver to me on the way to the restaurant, and get 3 loaves and cut it up and put it in the freezer. And it's, I don't know, you just, if they said no and sort of wouldn't do it, I'd have to probably go to the other one. But being able to do these sort of things with different companies is what makes them special. Someone else might have the same thing, but they won't do it. So you go, well, I don't want to go outside. I'd rather just have it come here to the door, and it gives me more time to keep working, because the more you have to go out and about, the less time you get to, get some stuff done. So that's my thoughts on some of the different things. Everybody would be able to, I think what you've got to do is put yourself in the place of the other person, your customer, your client, and just sort of think like them, and think, what would they like from me or you or whoever's got a business? What would they like that would make them feel special? And it could come up with a ton of 100 things, and write them down and actually do some of them. Over and out.
Yeah, I totally agree, and it's about you just got to find ways to just keep keep people engaged. Find ways to be able to keep people wowed, excited, create a little bit of mystery with things, that type of stuff as well. And just to be consistently dating them is essentially the mindset that you've got to be having as well. So you can't just get to a point where you literally just never ever get in contact with them, never do anything with them, and eventually you're going to wonder why your clients end up leaving, right? So you got to find ways to be able to get them to enjoy the experience that they're having with you as well, because the longer you can keep them, the more, the better your company's going to be able to become as well. And that's what it's about. You got to find ways to be able to make your company better, more supportive, and that's why you got to be able to adapt as well. Just adapt to changing economies and things that are going on to be able to better support your clients, right? So when we went into 3-day lockdown here in Perth, we just turned into 24/7 support for our clients here in Perth for anything that they need. As soon as we heard about the lockdown, first thing, boom, we're on the phone, or they get a text message saying, hey, 3-day lockdown, we noticed, any support that you need for this period, we're available 24/7, just give us a call. And we were just there on call for anything they need. We were working on a few things in the background just to help support them as well through that period too, because we've got brick and mortar businesses here, physical locations, service-based businesses that it affected, right? So we've got to find ways to adapt, hey, take a little bit of initiative, post pages to say, hey, we're taking precautions, we're wearing masks, all this type of stuff, blah, 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 whatever it is that we've got to do to be able to support that as well too. So the community that these companies have built that work with us get supported as well, right? There's a flow-on effect from all of this. So I hope you guys have found this of value today as well. I'm sure you have. So the action points for today is like, find a way to wow your clients. How can you continually date your clients, find ways to surprise them, and be mysterious while you're at it as well, okay? Take that away, and I want you guys to really just note some things down. Just do a little scribble session on things, a bit of like a mind map if you like to do a mind map, to really just focus on this and find a way to be able to keep these clients long term. What have you got to do to be able to help them and keep them long term? And let us know in the comments if you want to share what it is that you do as well. Just let us know in the comments. Also, just type value in the comments if you're getting some value, of course, as well. And we got some exciting stuff that's starting. We've got some more exciting stuff this week as well, don't we, Serena? We've got our webinar going live on Wednesday.
Yep.
To give you guys a bit of an overview of that webinar, we're covering a few things. We're covering the new iOS updates that have just come into existence here in the world, right? Which is detrimental to marketing, right? And any companies that utilize apps in some way, shape, or form, being that Apple is the biggest provider of apps right now. Even if you're like an app development company as well right now, you're in a bit of trouble here with this iOS updates and so on at the moment too, because what's happening is people now get the opportunity to opt in or opt out of data sharing with apps, specifically from their mobile phones. So people get an opportunity to opt in or opt out of that now. And what does that mean for businesses? 60 to 70% of people use mobile on the internet at the moment, who use the Facebook app, the Google apps, all these different apps, right? Google Chrome, whatever else apps. And now they get an opportunity to opt in or opt out of data sharing on that. So what's that mean for your business? That means that your business won't get the tracked data that it had before. So we're going to be talking about how your business can combat that. But more importantly, we want to talk about how you guys can do that, implement that as well ASAP to ensure that your business is maximizing what they can from these updates. Secondly, we're going to be covering one strategy that will help you double your business in the next 90 days as well. This is a system that is being also shared by one of our partners as well over in the Netherlands, Michael Nolst. This guy works with companies that do hundreds of millions of dollars. So not companies, we're talking corporations right now as well. So people are going to be so he's going to be sharing some systems around that. And these are systems that corporations are using that they don't normally share, that you can use in your company as well to be able to grow it. The third thing we're going to be talking about is, now that all these iOS updates are hit and, with all the challenges with that, how are we going about advertising right now to still ensure that we are getting the results from advertising campaigns? So we're talking about that. There's the three main things we're going to cover on it. We'll go for about 45 minutes, maybe an hour. We'll do potentially a little bit of Q&A and stuff like that as well with it. If you'd like access to that webinar, just comment below webinar and we'll send you the details to give you access to that. Plus, we've also had next week starting too, we've got our new course that we've just launched, which is starting on the 17th of this month. So that starts next Monday, and we'll be covering in this, it's called the Six-Figure Course Creator Blueprint. And it's one of the most intense courses that you'll ever see on the whole entire internet, because we've got the whole methodology literally all mapped out in a document, and we're actually got 5 days worth of training that we'll spend with you guys on Monday. That's from Monday to Friday next week, discussing how to go about building, marketing, and also selling a six-figure course, right? And it's going to give you full strategy and a 100K launch plan at the end of that as well, to ensure that you hit 6 figures as a course creator over the next 12 months as well. We're going to be sharing all of that with you over 5 days starting next week. The link is actually in the show notes here, just above this video, or below this video if you're watching on mobile right now. So you just click that link and register. It'll send you the details. We've got a private group and everything for that as well. We've actually teamed up with, the king of membership programs as well himself, Jonathan Callahan, for that as well, who's going to be sharing all of his insider knowledge around exactly what you can do to create winning courses and membership programs as well, right? And, being that we've sold, between us and our clients, multiple 7 figures worth of courses, marketed them, sold them on the phone, sold them online via webinar, all these different things as well. We're going to be sharing the tactics that we're using currently to be able to grow course membership programs, exactly what we're doing right now to grow, memberships and courses, marketing and sell those as well. So we're going to be sharing literally everything that we've got over 5 days next week starting Monday. So we've got some pretty exciting updates coming for you guys as well. So you just register for that course by just clicking above or below this video, and it'll all just get sent across to you via the link once you've filled in the form. So super excited for that, Serena. That's why we've got so much going on at the moment,
Yeah. So it's all going to be sort of pretty interesting, though, with, both Michael's stuff and Jonathan Callahan, by the way. You did call him Callahan. I'll just point that out. Sorry, Jonathan. So it's going to be busy. It's going to be full on. There's going to be lots of information being shared, and there's going to be some really great information. And, we strive to get information out there to help people grow their business. And also, obviously, the biggest thing we do is to get your leads. We're even now working, because we understand some of you get leads and then, have problems trying to turn those leads into your business as well. So we're getting things organized to help you with that also. So the whole game here is to make your business grow in the best way possible. What else can we say?
That's it, 100%. That's nothing more to be said.
If you get a hamper back office at some stage, well, then you're cool. Lucky as can be. But I'm still waiting for mine from Jared.
What was that? Sorry, you cut out when you said that. What are you waiting for from me?
It was a bit of a joke. I said waiting for my hamper basket.
Oh, your hamper. Yeah, why not? Definitely. Too easy, guys. Thank you. Too easy, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today as well to the Marketing Funnels and Strategy Show. We've covered so much today. As we said, make sure that you find a way to wow your clients and keep your clients long term. That's what it's all about. It's great to acquire clients, but if you never lose a client for the rest of your life and business career, it'll make it so much more enjoyable. So all I want you to do is just remember this one thing from today as well, is that if you don't fight for your own freedom, absolutely nobody else will. So every single day you must get out there. Every single day you must take action. Every single day you must make it happen, and remember to be the warrior. We will see you on Friday. Make sure that you're on the webinar Wednesday, and make sure that you're at the event and the course that we run on Monday. We'll speak to you all really soon. Cheers.